Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Whoa, I just almost shook my headphones off. I'm just so enthused. So enthused. Oops, did not mean to do that, but let's get going here. Wolfie didn't waste any time barking. I suppose for those wondering who may be joining us, I do, indeed, I wait for Wolfie to bark. I don't know why I expected that piece of sand to stay up there. I wait for Wolfie to bark prior to starting the episode. I don't know what I'm doing right here. Just trying to get rid of the sand. But let's grab Wolfie. And yeah, that's why sometimes there's some silence at the beginning of an episode, because I'm waiting for him to bark. Oh, do I have... so yeah, well, he's very barky today. So that is east. This is west. I neglected... Oh, no, there it is. I was going to say I neglected to make a boat, but I didn't. So, a boating we shall go on this episode 305 of Farlands or Busts. Being broadcast today, Friday, October 11th, 2013, we are at $47,060.74. $20 up from the last episode. Still remains a palindrome. So I do appreciate those donations that came in. Like I noticed, there's a little bit of a slowdown of donations, but that's okay, because we have the Mindcrack charity live stream coming October 18th, 19th, and 20th, a week from today. Oh my god, we're not ready. Everybody calm down. I think we'll be fine. Just give us some time. It might be a little bit hastily put together at the end there, but I think we'll do all right, as long as there is a live stream going on and we are able to live up to the promise of auctioning off these memorabilia, these items for Child's Play charity. And we encourage you guys to donate to Child's Play charity through other various perks and things that we do during the live stream. I think will be okay. It doesn't need to be a huge production, I suppose, which is why, for those of you who have attended previous flobathons, I tend to make my live streams very casual, very just bare bones, partially for my own sanity. It can be quite stressful to plan a large event, as you might be able to ask and find out from MC Gamer, who does the Zeldathon series. He always has a bunch of friends and stuff come over, and cameras and couches and big productions. I suppose the same as the Mario Marathon and Desert Bus for Hope. They always get big celebrity guests over Skype and stuff like that, and huge kind of giveaways and donation and auction items, I suppose, that fetch large donations. And also, of course, the just Child's Play charity in general. Meeting Jamie from Child's Play charity. She's kind of the community events organizer at Child's Play charity. I met her at PAX, and she sets up they have a golf outing, an auction, not an auction, but a charity golf outing every year. There's my shears. They're also doing every year a black tie dinner auction event, and she's ahead of charging that, and I could see how that could be plenty stressful indeed. So, am I lazy? I don't know. Maybe I just like to keep things simple, keep production values low, so that all the majority of the funds can go to the Child's Play charity, the cause that we are helping out. Who knows? But yes. Regardless, we'll have more information as that gets closer, even though it's getting a little close, for the Mindcrack live stream charity weekend of unnamed awesomeness and last-minute setupitus. So, continuing on here, I suppose another thing to mention about Mindcrack you may have seen yesterday if you follow me on Twitter and the Facebook. I also sent, I don't know how or if these work anymore, I posted a bulletin to my YouTube channel. You know, those little text bulletins, but I suppose if you have selected show only uploads in your feed, it rarely shows you all the uploads, so who am I to expect that you would get some sort of text bulletin through YouTube? But Minecon in Orlando is coming up, and there's going to be at least 15 of us Mindcrackers, possibly 16. Paul Soares Jr. is not exactly sure if his schedule will allow, but he is a maybe on the list. But like I said, there's 15 of us Mindcrack group members who are attending Minecon in Orlando this year, and we wanted to do something separate from Minecon itself as we normally do, but with so many of us there and so many of you there for both Minecon, or perhaps you didn't happen to get Minecon tickets and you just are in the area of Orlando, we have to, as opposed to saying, let's meet at this place, like at PAX, we said, let's meet at this kind of train station kind of park area, and it was big enough for the four of us and about the 100 people or so that showed up. With so many of us going and the anticipated amount of people wishing to attend, we cannot depend on a public space or just a non-scheduled event, as BOO and Generic B learned when they had the B Team meetup in the Chicagoland area they held at a GameWorks, and were nearly kicked out because of the large group of people that they had accumulated. You know, it was open to the public, and you know, they didn't really make an official event, and they didn't expect so many people to show up. They were nearly kicked out, so we wanted to avoid that. Unfortunately, that just comes with the territory, but we announced yesterday that we're having a Mindcrack party / meetup formal get-together. We've rented out an entire bowling alley / restaurant, bar, arcade, a very large, very cool-looking place. The whole place is ours for the evening of Friday, November 1st. That's the Friday before the first day of Minecon. We have it from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., and because of the costs involved, we have to sell tickets for such a thing. So there is a link in the video description. There's been links if you're subscribed to the Mindcrack Network. Good put up an entire video explaining everything. There's a link to a Go Get Funding page. It's very similar to Kickstarter, except Kickstarter, we wanted to use Kickstarter, but it doesn't allow for doing events. So Go Get Funding is our method for selling these tickets. They are $40 a piece, and we have space for 1,000 people to attend. And as I'm recording this, we're about having sold 200 tickets. So there's still plenty of time to get decided on whether or not. You don't need to be an attendee to Minecon to attend this. If you just happen to live in the Orlando area and want to do a meetup thing with Mindcrack, and of course meet other Mindcrack fans and such, there's that going on. So yeah, there's still plenty of space. Those haven't sold out like Minecon tickets have. So there's plenty of stuff available for that, so you can check that out. Like I said, the tickets are $40. If you are a minor, which I believe we're saying is under 18, you do need to be accompanied by an adult with a ticket. Everybody attending has to have a ticket. That's just per the location's rules, because there is a bar on site. There needs to be adult supervision and make sure everything's all right in that regard. But yeah, there's a link in the description. Like I said, there's still like 800 tickets available. We don't know if we're going to sell all 1,000 spots or not, so I suppose that depends on how crowded it's going to be. But for that $40, and all 6 hours is available, like I said, from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. That includes all free open bowling. They have 32 lanes at this bowling alley. All your shoe rentals, open billiards, aka pool tables, are all open and included in that. We will have catering to start the event, depending on how long the catering lasts. That is included. Little finger foods and things. There is a full menu bar and restaurant on site as well, if you'd like to take part in that. And that also includes, because there is limited parking at this place, a shuttle service that we are looking to hire out for the night that will take people from the convention area where Minecon is taking place, the local convention area hotels, to this bowling alley, which is about a 20-minute drive from there. It's kind of the closest place we could find that could hold what we would assume is enough space for enough people who would want to come to a Minecraft Minecon Orlando meetup and whatnot. So we do have that in the works as well. But like I said, more information, all the details available at the page, in the link, in the video description below. Interesting times, indeed. Yeah, let's talk about that more in the morning. And the Minecon partiness. Whoa, watch out, Wolfie. Indeed, you look like you might need a raw pork chop fused into the shape of a bone. So yeah, that's happening. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good thing. It is. I suppose it's being racked up as for the fans, and yeah, there are a lot of people who might not be able to come, and that really stinks. We did also, there were a few, just like Kickstarter, there were a few tiers, aside from just the $40 for a ticket to attend. We assumed, and we were assumed correctly, that there would be people who maybe couldn't attend, but wanted to see that the event happened, so we were also having a lower tier, a $10 tier, where we will send you a thank you postcard, Minecraft postcard, that we will all sign on the night. Those sold out, and we appreciate all those people for helping, I suppose, fund a part of the night with that. And then there was for people who wanted to donate more to make sure the event happened, but kind of, I suppose, VIP-like tickets to have a smaller dinner prior to the night with all of us, and those sold out. There were only 30 of those, so that in and of itself is surprising, and I suppose we're just waiting to see how well and the attendance for the rest of the evening. I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be too terrible if we didn't sell all 1,000 tickets. Everybody gets their own bowling lane. No, so we're just, this is all brand new to us. We have never done anything like this before, but I suppose it's just slowly getting our feet wet into expanding a little bit beyond just our internet selves here. Like I said, 15 of us at least are going to be in attendance there and at Minecon. Interesting things indeed. You know, I just got finished saying about the charity live streams and stuff, I tend to like to keep things simple, and this is not simple, and you have to thank, if you haven't already, thank Good. He has been the leader, the champion, the go-getter and organizer of this entire thing, and in addition to the charity weekend, he has really taken the driver's wheel for organizing all of this. So go thank Good. He is certainly very dedicated to doing as much as he can and as we can for the Minecraft community and fans and things. Indeed. So now that is talked about, I have plugged it. If in case you haven't heard through the various grapevines of Twitters and Facebooks and the other Minecraft channels, there you go. You can check that out, and that will be something interesting to plan for and look forward to. In addition, of course, to the whole Minecon weekend. But I do have some questions from fans who have donated to Child's Play Charity. With your donating, if you're going to donate to Child's Play Charity at farlandsbus.com, there's a little spot, a comment section that I've asked if you want to ask a question. You got to help me have things to talk about. This is a long journey. It's very tiring. You guys certainly have, I suppose, done such a thing quite well, because I have a list of questions just backed up here that I'm trying to get to. We get to a few every episode. From donor Ben, thank you very much for your donation. Ben asks a very simple and strange question, something I have not been asked before. Have you ever went for a haircut, then weeks later noticed there's one really long hair that must have been missed? I suppose that has happened before. When you go to your more cut rate, pun intended, cut rate haircut place. They tend to be a little quick and a little bit not precise. So yes, I have noted something like that. I suppose for guys, as Ben, I'm sure you might be aware, the sideburns. For whatever reason, despite their abilities to look at your face and make measurements and see, your sideburns, I've rarely gone to a place to get my hair cut and they get my sideburns even. They're all like not the same length. I don't know if I'm like tilting my head when they're looking at me or what, but that's always a problem. But recently, and actually since, I haven't gone to get my hair cut at a place since the Jason Statham initiative, which was back in January, where I got the Jason Statham buzz cut. And I've simply been doing it myself. I've been buzz cutting my hair myself. Probably not the highest quality job. I suppose there have been moments of certain unevenness. I have no idea what the back of my head looks like. I just assume it's all the same length, so that'll be all right. I'm probably going to, before Minecon, go to a place and say, hey, I've been giving myself a buzz cut for the past 8 months, 10 months. So perhaps same. I'll get a... Whoa! Okay, that scared me. Okay. All right. Watch where you're going, Kurt. You too, Wolfie. You too. I suppose, I'll go to get a haircut. Okay, just a buzz cut, but just make sure it's like clean and shaped right in the back. And I might do that before Minecon weekend, just so I don't look like a complete goob in pictures and at the panel and things. So yes, I have noticed that has happened before. I can't say I've ever been the most lucky when it comes to haircuts. Hey, so I suppose it's a good thing that I don't have to go get haircuts anymore. I've considered growing my hair out again, just to see what would happen since having the buzz cut for so long, but... and even, like, after I got back from Seattle from PAX, I didn't cut it for, like, 2 or 3 weeks just to see, and it just gets to a point where it's long enough not to be a buzz cut anymore, but it's all uneven and at different lengths that it just looks like I'm a homeless person, or I'm scraggly and scrubbly, so I suppose I don't have the force, what's the word I'm looking for? For similitude? Similitude? I don't have the gumption to stick out getting through the awkward in-between short and long hair phase, so I just end up buzz cutting it again. So perhaps this is the way I will be for the rest of my life. But yay! Haircut talk. Here on Farlands or Bust. Let's go down here. From MC Exercise Girl. And I checked out this channel after she gave the donation, and MC Exercise Girl says, a little bit of a story here. I tried to do something fun, and I made 2 exercise, quote-unquote, videos on YouTube that used mind crackers as inspiration. As a nerd fighter, you might recognize the idea. I encouraged others to make their own videos in response, and for each one, I would donate to Farlands or Bust. And yeah, I checked out the channel, and she did... They're parodies, they're funny, they're not intended to be serious exercise videos, but she does things like the pause on pause is doing the bow and arrow move, because he's good with the bow and arrow, and the Kurt J. Mac is walking in place, facing west or something like that, and they're funny, and she wears like a creeper head, or not a creeper head, a Steve head, one of those blocky Steve heads, while she's doing the exercises, and it's funny stuff, a parody, if you will. But she says, unfortunately, and I saw somebody posted it to the Reddit. I don't know that much about all the different Reddit subreddits, but there's apparently one called Cringe, where people post things that are cringe-worthy. And she says, unfortunately, it got posted there by somebody, and it ended up getting kind of trolled. And people were taking it like, is this person seriously trying to do exercise for Minecraft? Which she said she wasn't. It was for people didn't recognize the joke. It was for charity. So now she's worried that nobody else is going to be posting these videos, so instead she donated a very generous donation, I might add, to Child's Play charity just on her own. And I do appreciate that. I kind of wanted to share that. MC Exercise Girl. It was a funny thing and a good try, and that, you know, that happens sometimes, and I would say don't take it personally. I thought it was funny. It's one of those, you know, people make parody videos or clip shows or things, and it is much appreciated as far as fan involvement and community is concerned. So I do appreciate it. I say good job, MC Exercise Girl, and a very creative and original idea. And I appreciate, and so does Child's Play Charity and all the kids you've helped appreciate the donation that you gave through Far Lands or Bust. Right, Wolfie? I said, right, Wolfie? Woof, yeah, Wolfie. MC Exercise Girl got the Wolfie seal of approval. Somewhat delayed, but got it. Indeed. So let's build a hidey hole here. Boop, beep, bop. Beak, bonk. Woof, there we go. And place down the bed. And go to sleep. And awakeness. Woof. Oh, I just noticed a question here I think I've already answered. Yeah, about the mods from Ringman77. I already answered that, right? About, I don't feel like my channel is right for doing mods, mod reviews and things like that, but maybe, you never know what could change. So let's go on to another question from Nano Carl. Following a plane crash on a desert island with no hope of rescue, suppose you were tasked with creating a government for 50 survivors. What form of government would you use? What laws would you make that are different from those in the US? I would make a government that could not be held hostage and taken down completely by a small group of psychopaths who run the government. Topical political topics here on Far Lands or Bust. Topical topics. Redundant titles for segments here on Far Lands or Bust. That is a strange question. For those of you who follow Far Lands or Bust, know that I am quite terrible at the hypothetical style questions, as well as the what's your favorite this or that type of question. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have not studied the intricacies of different styles of government and republics, and I suppose that is a style of government, but regardless, see, I don't even know the terminology going into that, so I don't know. Perhaps I never watched Lost. I don't follow those types of narratives or stories. So that, I'm afraid, is a non-answer for that. It just kind of was apt. I suppose a little bit more apt about the whole government shutdown. For those of you who don't know, the United States government has shut down for the past week and a half or so. I'll let you look it up and find out why and what and who they're screwing over. But the biggest, well, not the biggest, but a large, I believe it was, isn't it 97% of NASA workers have been not laid off, but not allowed to work. Because they can't get paid. And they're basically not working right now. Only the essential few that are critical for space operations, specifically those on the International Space Station, obviously need support so that they're not all alone up there and whatnot. But I mean, even like the astronauts don't have anything new to do, because that would require funding for them to do experiments or this or that or the other. So they're tweeting and taking pictures and stuff, which is kind of sad. So it's really, we don't have a budget, let's save money. Well, now we're wasting money because we have all this stuff in place and we're not using it and it's just going down the toilet. But anyway, I don't get into politics that much. But yeah, that is kind of along those lines. And I'm a little bit worried for, obviously, around Minecon. There is Kennedy Space Center to the east, about an hour east, And the visitor center is not run by the government. It's run by a private company. So the visitor center is open. So you can visit the visitor center and see the Atlantis space shuttle and all the stuff on the grounds there. But what it looks like you can't do is included normally with your ticket to Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center is just a standard bus tour that takes you onto the grounds of Kennedy Space Center, past the security gates. And they take you to a few spots near the VAB. That's really cool. And then, just a little stopover on your way to the Saturn V building, which is part of the Visitor Center building. There's a cafe, there's a gift shop and everything. That's where they display the full Saturn V rocket, and they have all the Apollo mission artifacts and things like that. Can't go to that because the bus tours are shut down because they can't go onto the NASA grounds. So that's concerning to me because that, I think, is one of the, if not the highlight of going to Kennedy Space Center is being able to see the Saturn V rocket. And they have a really cool presentation that you go through there. You get to walk through and see the actual launch control room that they launched the Saturn V's from, the actual consoles. That's actually where they filmed some of, although most of that was in Houston, but some of, like the movies like Apollo 13 and stuff, those are the actual instruments that they actually used, and they're right there at the actual room. And they have all that. Obviously, the Saturn V itself, they have some of the spacesuits. I can't remember which one they have. Do they have Apollo 14, the capsule there? They have one of the Apollo capsules there. They have spacesuits, which is really cool. I can't remember whose they have, but that have been on the moon, and there's still moon dust on the spacesuits. They have a piece of the moon, a moon rock that you can touch. So you can touch a piece of the moon, and that would really be sad if by the time November 1st comes around, that weekend, that the government is still shut down, and those of you and myself who wanted at some point to visit Kennedy Space Center miss out on that part of it. That would really stink. So get your act together. Open up the government. So that is unfortunate news that I've found out. But I suppose the main reason I want to go again is to see Atlantis. I have not seen the Space Shuttle Atlantis. I've seen Space Shuttle Atlantis up close and personal, right, within a hand's grasp when I was at the SpaceX NASA tweet up. But to see it in the fully built and finished exhibit area where they have it propped up and sideways and the bay doors open and everything, that's still on the main grounds. So there's that. That would be my main reason. I've seen pretty much everything else. But yeah, hopefully that gets sorted. If not for the selfish reason that I would like to go back to the Saturn V Center. But anyway, let's not end on like a really crummy note like that. Let's try to answer a question here. Buck. From Stephen Wanda. If you had creative control over the remake of any video game ever made, which would you remake and why? Well, they've already remade Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider, which was okay, the remake. I suppose it would have to be... I'm thinking about this now. I'm trying to think if I'm like forgetting any awesome games. Probably, aside from Tomb Raider, what really got me into games, and racing games in particular, was Destruction Derby 2. And there have been since some games called Destruction Derby that have left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. The Flat Out series has tried to be somewhat like that, but has come up short. And the guys who made Flat Out are currently putting together what they're calling Next Car Game. And it's getting a lot of hype. And I don't remember what did they do a Kickstarter or some sort of funding for it? And they're using, it looks like a Flat Out. I've never played a Flat Out game, actually. I should probably do that at some point. Although they are starting to show their age. They are a few years old. But, they're trying to, supposedly, in all the videos I've seen, make it a racing game. And they do mention Destruction Derby 2 as a big influence and just trying to get back to that fun Destruction Derby style racing game, where other games like your Grid 2s and your Dirts, Showdowns somewhat fall quite short. So looking forward to that. But yeah, like a proper Destruction Derby game, like even, all the nostalgic, all the different drivers, the AI drivers had different personalities. The tracks, gosh, the tracks were amazing in Destruction Derby 2. Even the arenas, the Destruction Derby, Demolition Derby arenas all had their own kind of flavor and personality. So I would say that. And even, for a PlayStation 1 game, it had very good physics and driving physics, and just, I wouldn't say realism, but it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. Fun games is what I'm looking forward to. Stop making all these serious and sad games. Make fun games. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. So thank you very much. Who asked that? Steve and Wanda for that question. I think this might have been one I answered before a long time ago. And I might have answered either the Tomb Raider game, but that has already been remade, or probably, Destruction Derby 2. It's a very important game, I believe. Of course, Reflections went on to focus on, they started making the driver games, and those were also very cool and popular, and I enjoyed those as well. This is not a place for a hidey hole. Kind of off on a cliff here. All right, let's go down a little bit. Boop. All right, this looks good. Facing west. Probably do it in, side of this. Yeah, right there. Looks like it's already made for me. I've already got a... Careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. I'll catch you, I'll catch you. Oh, dang it. I didn't catch him. All right, here's a nice pre-made door for a hidey hole. How you doing? Here, let's melt some of that snow around you. All right, so let's dig in here. Once again, I do appreciate the continued... Whoops, did not mean to do that. The continued support for both Farlands or Busts and Child's Play charity, and looking forward to the Mindcrack live stream charity weekend next Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, going for 48 hours until Sunday. 3 p.m. But that was a fail. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Indeed. Let's make this hidey hole full-sized here. Once again, the link in the video description for those wishing to learn more or to make their reservations to attend the Mindcrack meetup pre-Minecon party thing, which I don't know what to call specifically, but that's, I guess, close enough approximation. Like I said in the video below, or the description below, check that out. Let's make 3 beds. Let's make a boat. Even though we've been in a snow biome for quite a significant amount of time, so I don't know if we'll be needing that, but indeed, episode 305 of Farlands or Bust. I appreciate you for following along, donating to Child's Play charity. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.